Good day, dear MICE Backstage audience. We are very delighted to introduce our guest today, Mr. Jordi Kuit, CEO of Silk Hospitality Georgia, the daughter company of Silk Road Group. And Silk Hospitality is managing all the entertainment and hospitality assets of one of the biggest holdings in Georgia, which is Silk Road Group. Jordi, thank you very much for finding time. We know that you are preparing for a really great opening of all your venues and hotels, which are ready to Tbilisi, in Andali Estate, Radisson, in Kakheti wine region, one of our famous regions in Georgia, and all these great event venues that you manage also. Thank you very much for being with us, and let's start maybe with the most important question that is really very crucial to all of us. What do you think, how the tourism will look after post-COVID era?
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me. Pleasure to meet online, and I hope we can meet in person again soon. Interesting question. People, we in hospitality, we are in, I call the people business. So we are not really good at Zoom meetings like this. We do it because we have to, because we have no other choice. The future of hospitality, if we look at Georgia specifically, is still looking very good, very strong. Georgia genuinely has still has the same great assets that it used to have before the corona. And now, if everything remains well controlled, the way the crisis has been managed, it may even become a unique selling point. Who knows? But I always try to be careful with those statements because we'll see. If, as an industry, we continue to focus on those USPs which Georgia already had, I'm sure we will really come out stronger. And I know that many people say that, and also many countries always say that, you know, we will get out of it stronger, but I genuinely believe that. It doesn't change the fact that the next 3 years will be a challenge. For us as a company, but for everybody else. However, look at your business plan, look at the prognosis that you had a year ago. Don't forget about that. Still stick to that and try to make the best of this year and the best of next year. After next year, I am positive, and we as a company, but also my colleagues are positive that the market will already restore in such a way that we can really start building again the future based on, like I said, the great USPs that Georgia already had as a country. So let's look at it positively. On the short term, yes, the domestic market is much more important. So what do we do as a company? We will invest much more in national tourism. And we are working also hard with, for example, Radisson as a brand. How can we work together with them on making the local market more attractive? And that is some short-term changes that we are making as a company. It's same with the restaurants. We're not only catering anymore for international tourists in certain outlets, but we are changing to the local market.
We all need local markets. We understand that without local market, it will be really tough to start in the next 3 months.
Absolutely. But I mean, the local market, I mean, I forgot to mention, yesterday I was in Sinandali again to celebrate the opening, and we really celebrated with the team. And local market is also the weddings, as you also know. And certain things in life never stop.
Yes.
People continue to fall in love. They will still do a proper wedding with as many friends and family as possible. So, you know, I mean, there is still enough to focus on.
That this wedding team is really very interesting. I think that in Europe also, the people will look more for budget destinations with nice venues and landscapes, and this wedding industry is really very relevant to Georgia, and it looks really promising. Let's hope that, I mean, you and all your venues are just perfect for these occasions, these great occasions, you know, to celebrate life and happiness. Jordi, you've mentioned USPs of Georgia. What are these USPs?
Where to start? I mean,
very briefly, please.
I mean, you know, of course, it is the country itself. It's the landscape. It is the four seasons, the real winters and the real summers. I mean, I'm from the Netherlands, so I'm really from a small country, so smaller than Georgia, but for a country the size of Georgia, I mean, it has the opportunities that, if you compare to European countries, there's not that many that can offer what Georgia has. I mean, France, it comes a little bit close to what it can offer, and yes, it's bigger, but that's why I'm so positive about the Georgian tourism future. We are not capitalizing the full potential yet in Georgia because of infrastructure and because of flights, but it will come. I mean, the current crisis it's a handbrake. So yes, we were driving and we were going really, really fast, and we were celebrating the 6 million visitor, etc. Now, okay, we have a bit of a handbrake, but after 3 years, the handbrake will be fully off. We will be again driving at full speed. And then it is time to look at those USPs. So to answer your question, in the region where I know there is a lot of also government support and private sector support, in the region is where the future of Georgian tourism is. Not only the ski resorts, not only the hiking tours, etc. It's a combination. We are, for example, working on a project in Mestia, where we as Silk Hospitality will plan to do an independent hotel, like our park hotel in Sinandali. And just in our vision, we will do it in a nice way. Once the hotel is there, there is already the airport, but there's no place for people to really stay. So the destination Mestia is fantastic, but where can you accommodate a group of 30 people? It is not possible. The different areas of Georgia is where the potential is, and of course the wine region, etc. But Kakheti region, if you look at it, is already not. It's already discovered. Let's put it that way. So what is happening now in Kakheti with luxury hotels and a good variety, that can also happen in the other regions. Similar to Abu Stumani project as well. And I'm confident it will generate a lot of interest and really a lot of travelers, not only from the European side, but again, that's also another unique feature, is our location. I mean, the location of Georgia, despite the night flights, which yes, nobody likes, but it's linked to the fact that we are in the middle of Asia and Europe, and it's a good thing, because both sides can easily visit us within 4 or 5 hour flights. And we should really focus on that market.
Jordi, tell me please, so what do you think? Should we expect the same amount of international investment?
Short term, the next 3-5 years, maybe 5 years even. It will be more challenging. Let's put it that way. Simply because we all need to recover. So it would not be realistic not to say that the Corona crisis has a financial impact on cash being available for investments. It's a fact. So, however, for good projects, there is always money to be found. If your proposal, your investment is rock solid, people will always invest. And development is a long-term thing. I mean, we as a company develop also our own hotels. I mean, everything that we now manage is developed by ourselves. It takes also 3 to 5 years to realize it. Yeah. And like I said before, I genuinely believe, and with me a lot of other experts, that in 3 to 5 years the market will have recovered. So then there is potential, like for the regions, if your business plan is good. If you have a business plan which didn't make sense already in 2019, yeah, of course it's not going to work next year. I mean, then your business plan was not good. In our case, only a month ago, we secured the financing for Telegraph, which is the former post office on Rust Valley Avenue, which now most people know because the Wendy's is there, which, by the way, we're not managing the Wendy's, but the building is part of our portfolio. And despite the crisis, despite the Corona, the Danish investment fund committed to the project with 15 million euro, not USD, euro. And they could have said no because of Corona. I don't know what's going to happen, but they said no. It will take 3 years to build it. So how is the market looking in 3 years from now? And then we made some adjustments, but it is still a very good business case. And the same applies to any restaurant. I mean, it's not only hotels. I mean, it's the same with any other company. I mean, look again at your business case. Maybe you need to change it. I mean, maybe it doesn't make sense anymore to do a certain segment. Mm-hmm. You still have 3 years to change it. And be very open about that with the people that you are approaching to get the finance. I mean, it's no sense to sell dreams because nobody will buy that. So, good business case always works.
Great. Really happy to hear your optimistic projection. So you are actually, your company, your holding is really well known as one of the most major industry key influencers in our country and not only in the region also. So do you think that Georgia should be developed more direction luxury, very sophisticated, let's say bohemian spot in the world, or it should still remain the same, covering all these USPs that you mentioned before? How do you see, the perspective of our country?
Very important. Please keep it real. Keep it authentic. you know, I mean, the guys here in the office know. I mean, we should not build a replica of the Taj Mahal or something just because it's cool and it attracts people. I mean, it's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Carefully look at those USPs that indeed we mentioned, and everybody hopefully knows the USPs of Georgia, but be very careful with them. I mean, do it in a good way, do it in a nice way. You don't want Georgia to become the next Venice, which is literally collapsing because of wrong management of tourism. The same is happening in Amsterdam, my home city, so to say, where I grew up. But we should really do it in a durable, sustainable way. And that sounds very, but I really mean it. Because then the tourism will survive for a much longer period.
Yes.
You don't need to reinvest. I mean, something which is real is real. You don't need to paint it nicer than it is. And it may cost a little bit more though when you initially start. And there I understand the challenges that maybe investors have, like us, but also government or external financial institutions. To build something beautiful that fits in the environment is always a little bit more expensive. And certain investors may be tempted to do something very quick because it will work for 5 years and we will make some money, which is great if you can do a return on investment in 5 years.
That's not
wow. But it genuinely most of the time doesn't work on the long term.
Yes.
That is what I'm saying, and definitely in the bigger tourism parts, you need to have a long-term horizon. So stick to keeping it real, because that will never change, and tourists will still come and visit you because of the real thing. Let's not make it a theme park. There are certain examples in certain countries where you can indeed experience many things in one city, but it's not the real city feeling. In certain main cities, not even the locals are living anymore in the city center because, why would you? So I hope that we manage to, I'm sure that we all together can manage it, because there is still so much space in Georgia where we can keep it real, keep it authentic.
Yes, keep it real and make it to emotions. I mean, this is
absolutely, yes. Why do people travel? Not to experience the same. I mean, why do you drive in a car for 2 days like we used to do when I was little? We were driving to France or to Spain and it took 2 days, and that was the adventure already. Although it was hot and sweaty in the car and we had the luggage everywhere, but the journey already made the trip was part of the whole experience. And then you don't want to have the same food. You want, when you come to Georgia, you want Georgian food. You want, and okay, maybe if you're in Georgia for 2 weeks, okay, maybe one day you don't want any more khali and khachapuri and you want something else, but that's why you visit the country.
Yes, and Georgia is very diverse actually, and very open-minded, and we have plenty of international type of cuisine. And yes, I mean, Georgia is really something for all kind of guests and visitors.
Yeah, and every region, I know now that I'm here just over 4 years.
Yes.
Every region is genuinely different.
Absolutely.
I have learned very fast in the last 4 years that you need to also look for local connections. So, and with that I mean that if we were to well, if we were to do something in the region, which we have different plans, so we prefer always to work with really a local partner. Although we are a Georgian company by DNA, I'm just not Georgian, but I'm working on it. We always do it together with a local partner, because they understand even much better than my Georgian management team. They even much better understand their city, region, village, etc.
Yes, definitely.
And that works best. Out by saying that how we started our interview, our talk, the future is still looking bright. So yes, it's a little bit more cloudy and a little bit more rainy, but I'm used to that, literally. But you know, look at the horizon. The potential is really there. It's tough right now, even for us as a company. I mean, don't think now because we're big, it's easy. Sometimes, on the contrary, I would say, because we're big, we have bigger problems.
Yes.
But the future is looking very bright. So let's not forget. Keep your vision on the good things. A good business plan is still a good business plan. After the crisis, you just may need to change it, but nothing, the world did not collapse. And continue to invest in your people. So even more now in these times. So you will be able to differentiate. Now I'm giving away some information for competitors, but it is in the interest of all of us.
You are not
use this time. No. Use this time to invest in the quality of your team. Before the crisis, we were all panicking. We cannot get the right people. We don't have enough people, etc., etc. We have made the decision to keep 95 of our labor force employed. But at the same time, we will also use it to invest in their skill set. And even if you're only a small company, you have less than 10 employees, it's no excuse for not investing in your team, because they will get out of it stronger, and it will make the whole hospitality better. Because the people that will travel, they will indeed like to experience the real authentic Georgia, as we were talking about, but they also want quality.
Jordi, thank you very much. Have a great day and have a great success in your. So, are you gonna celebrate somehow opening of Royal Hotels?
Yes, we are. I mean, watch the online space with on Facebook and social media, etc. So we are not just opening, we will open with lots of nice things to do exactly that, what you were saying, to celebrate life.
Yes, to celebrate life.
To welcome everybody. So yes, we hope to welcome as many people to our live events as we are allowed, because of course we still have to keep some social distance.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
Yeah. Okay, good. Please be loud.
Thanks again.
Be successful. Thank you very much. Thanks again, Jordi, for finding time, and all the best to you and to your great team. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.